Yo, what is good, Jets Nation? Welcome back to Jets Media. This is Richie, and yes, I am back. Richie is finally home, and I will be breaking down today's training camp at One Jets Drive, talking about everything that I've missed over these past 2 weeks. As you guys know, I did go away to Costa Rica to become a yoga teacher, and that all is wrapped up, and I'm finally home. I've landed on Sunday. I finally got caught up. I watched the Jets preseason game yesterday. There's a lot that I need to really talk about with you guys, but in this one, we're going to be focusing on this morning's practice and any other news that really came out over the past couple of weeks that I want to briefly touch on if you guys my thoughts, because there's a lot that happened when I was gone, whether it's Mekhi Becton being injured for the entire season, Zach Wilson being injured in the preseason, the Jets signing Dwayne Brown. I mean, there's so many things that happened leading up until this video. So I'm going to briefly touch up on a couple of those points. As I'm recording this video, Zach Wilson, I'm repping you right now. He is getting his surgery. We do not know the extent of the injury yet. After the surgery, we're going to find out the timetable of his return. And man, oh man, hopefully that we get good news, because it's not official that he's going to be, positive sign of 2 to 4 weeks, because they can go in there and find something really bad. And I don't want to get I don't want to talk about that until we finally see, what actually happens. And the news could already be out as I'm recording this video. The news could be breaking as I'm recording this, but we will find out whenever that news does come out. I'll make a separate video on that. So first and foremost, the Jets go out there, they signed Dwayne Brown to a 2-year contract. We saw the contract details come out today. It's a cheap contract for this season, but they do have him on the contract for next season. So it seems like Joe Douglas made sure that Dwayne Brown is going to be on the Jets for 2 years, even though he is a seasoned veteran. He is a Pro Bowler. He's like 37, 38 years old, and they had a void in his contract, which means they're going to be paying him even like 5 years from now. Like after this season and the year after that, they push some money back to pay him to really spread out the wealth instead of paying him this season and next season. So it seems like Joe Douglas had to do that in order to get Brown to the New York Jets, because, they were talking about bringing in Brown, and then Mekhi Becton goes down. So now you feel like Dwayne Brown's agent kind of had some leverage here, because the Jets were desperate and we needed to get Brown. And shout out to George Fant, man. He's moving to right tackle and Brown is going to be the left tackle. So now the offensive line is looking like Brown at left tackle, Laken Tomlinson at left guard, Connor McGovern at center, AVT at right guard, and Fant going back to right tackle. Shout out to Fant. He is such a team player, and I'm so excited to see what he can do back at that right tackle spot. So shout out to Joe Douglas for getting Brown, because oh my gosh, was I upset about the Mekhi Becton news. This really makes me feel a little better about the offensive line. But talking about Zach Wilson real quick and my thoughts of Joe Flacco being the quarterback number 1, I mean, we're going to talk about in today's video about today's practice. Joe Flacco is on fire today, but I really feel like the Jets have had they have such a great quarterback room, one of the best they've had in a long time in terms of depth. Remember what happened when Sam Darnold went down a couple of years ago? We had Trevor Siemian. He gets hurt when his first time out there, and then Luke Falk is out there, just an absolute nightmare. The Jets actually have really good quarterbacks behind Zach Wilson with Joe Flacco, with Mike White. Even Streveler looked like an absolute dog in the preseason against the Philadelphia Eagles, leading them to the victory in the fourth quarter. So I do have a lot of confidence in Joe Flacco to play good football until Zach Wilson comes back. Let's hope that Joe Flacco does not have to play a long time. Hopefully it's just maybe a couple for like week 1, week 2, maybe week 3, and Zach Wilson get back out there. We'll have to see what the injury news is for that on that front. But there's a lot of things that happened over the past 2 weeks, but the main points that I had to touch up on was Mekhi Becton going down, which I did make a video actually when I was in Costa Rica, the Jets getting Brown, Zach Wilson going down with an injury. My thoughts of Joe Flacco as the quarterback number 1. Quinnen Williams is also banged up with an ankle injury. Robert Saleh does not seem too concerned with that. DJ Reed has been dealing with some injuries, but he was back today in team drills, which is a really good sign. And then briefly, let's just give my brief takeaways on preseason game number 1. Michael Clemens looks like an absolute dog. I mean, the defensive line looked really, really good. But when it comes to the starting offense, Zach Wilson started off. He threw a ball way over Garrett Wilson's head. You're getting a little concerned, and he throws an interception. You're like, okay. And then series number 2, he throws a really beautiful pass to Elijah Moore. He's connecting with Tyler Conklin on a couple first downs, and then the play he gets injured, he scrambles and tries to make someone miss in the open field instead of going out of bounds, and then his knee buckles and he gets that injury. So Zach Wilson definitely did not have a really good start to preseason, but I really hope that he's going to be okay. And when it comes to the backups, I love the resiliency from that defensive line and that defense, because after those first 14 points that the Eagles went out there and had with Jalen Hurts, and Minshew, the defense shut them down. And then the Jets' backup offense with Mike White and Streveler at the end was resilient. We saw Jeremy Rucker get in the end zone. We saw Calvin Jackson get in the end zone. We saw some flashes from the rookies like Garrett Wilson. Breece Hall had a good first down run. And on the defensive side of the ball, Jameon Sherwood looked really good. Michael Clemens looked really good. Jermaine Johnson has a high motor. And I just feel like Lawrence Cager also shined to me personally. So yeah, I mean, that's really my biggest takeaways from game number 1. I'm going to talk about that in another video. But let's get into today's practice, because that's what I really want to talk about, because there's a lot of things to break down on what happened this morning. Joe Flacco had a day. 14 of 17, 4 touchdowns, sacked twice. Now, this is a really good sign because Joe Flacco is a seasoned veteran. We know what we're getting from cool Joe Flacco. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's been with the Jets before. He knows the system. This is just an absolute perfect backup quarterback. It's not like we're throwing a guy out there with no experience like Mike White. You know, obviously Mike White has experience last year with that Cincinnati Bengals game and everything, but Joe Flacco, I have so much confidence in him because he's not rattled by anything. He knows what to expect from blitzes. He knows how to read defenses. He knows where the ball needs to be. Even Garrett Wilson said that he is a really good quarterback that's a friendly with wide receivers, knows when to take the ball off with touch, knows when to put it with velocity, and he was just dealing today, absolutely dealing today. He had a touchdown to Corey Davis, and then he finished it off with 2-point conversion, touchdown to Tyler Conklin, I believe, and then a touchdown to Breece Hall. And he also had a laser beam throw, apparently, to Elijah Moore. And according to Rich Tamini, it was the best throw of training camp. So obviously, Joe Flacco's going out there with the first team and really dealing. Now, some players I want to highlight that has really stood out in camp so far that I think is destined to have a breakout season is Tyler Conklin. Even in the preseason, you can tell that the Jets are really going to feed him the ball, because I feel like Tyler Conklin is going to be that breakout player on this Jets offense, probably going to be putting up the best tight end numbers for the New York Jets at that position in quite some time. I feel like that is only a matter of him staying healthy for him to put up those numbers. I think he's going to be having around 4 to 6 receptions a game, having like 50 yards on average. I really feel like he's going to be that guy that's going to be looked at as a reliable piece in third down drills, in the red zone, catch and run. You know, I just feel like Tyler Conklin is that guy that's going to be a breakout star. And I think every single time I'm seeing what's going on in camp, his name just continues to get called and called. So his stock is rising. And another player's stock is rising is, of course, Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is a player that just continuously is making strides. He's making one-handed snags in practice. He's making people miss easily. He's going out there in preseason. He had that disgusting route when Zach Wilson hit him on a quick slant. That double move was just awesome to see from Elijah Moore. He's going to have a breakout season for sure. When it comes to the defensive side of the ball today, Carl Lawson started off practice with a sack, beating Max Mitchell, sacking Joe Flacco. Jermaine Johnson sacked Mike White. And Lawrence Cager had a one-handed catch. So when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, it does seem like this defensive line is deep, man. We saw Michael Clemens in preseason game number 1, just absolutely high motor, violent player, just looks like a guy that's going to be falling in love with, all Jets fans are going to be falling in love with him. You know that. And Jermaine Johnson has been getting sacks pretty much every single day at training camp. So that's only a matter of time until he gets his first sack in the preseason. And I cannot wait to see that. The Jets have a really good situation on their hands with this defensive line because they have so many players that they can flip some of them for draft picks. You know, Vinny Curry, Bryce Huff, Sheldon Rankins. There's so many guys on this defensive line that who's going to be making the roster? Who's going to be cut? Who's going to be traded? We will find out, because there's going to be a lot of good players on this Jets defensive line that's going to have to get cut, because that's how deep they truly are. Speaking of Denzel Mims, I have to bring his name up. He had a nice 50-50 touchdown grab from Streveler with the third team, and it's really interesting to see what's going on with Denzel Mims, see how he handles things. Is he going to be cut? Is he going to be making the roster? We'll find out. Hamza Nasruddin also had a really good play today, saving a touchdown on Lawrence Cager from a pass of Mike White. So that's really my thoughts of today's practice. Overall, Joe Flacco looks like a guy that is going to be looking good with the New York Jets, handling that quarterback duty until Zach Wilson hopefully comes back from injury sooner rather than later. I have a lot of confidence in Joe Flacco. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected, he knows where the ball needs to be. He's a quarterback that knows how to spread the wealth around. He knows where the ball needs to be in terms of timing, and I really feel like the Jets have a good quarterback room outside of Zach Wilson when he's down, so let's hope that he's good. When it comes to injuries, let's hope that Quinnen Williams is okay and everyone can stay healthy, because oh my gosh, can we please just stay healthy by week number 1 so we can go into the Baltimore Ravens at home with a healthy roster. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comments of today's practice and overall anything that I missed. that I didn't really talk on because, again, I was away for 2 weeks, so it was really hard to stay in tune with what's going on with the New York Jets. But that's my thoughts of everything regarding the New York Jets. Again, please like the video if you guys enjoy it and comment down below your thoughts of the video. Feels good to be back talking Jets with you guys. Expect more Jets content daily, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Let's go Jets. Peace out.